Hello, I'm Will Sampson from CabinetMaker magazine, and we're here today in the shop to take a look at the Milwaukee 695520 dual bevel miter saw. This is a sliding compound design. It slides on two nice rails. Very smooth, lots of capacity. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. And you can lock the rails with just a little knob right here. One of the features of this saw that folks will notice right away are the twin headlights on either side of the blade, so it illuminates the area real well and follows the blade, makes it easy to see a pencil line. A lot of saws today have lasers on them, but the folks in Milwaukee said that their research and job sites showed that guys were having problems keeping the lasers in adjustment, and what they really wanted was more light on the job to illuminate the cut line, particularly in job sites that might be in a facility that does not yet have electrical connections. So you know, for lighting in-house there. So this is an interesting feature. The light bulbs in it are standard automotive type bulbs that are available in any automotive supply store, so in theory that if you need to replace a bulb, it should be pretty easy to find, and you can do it almost anywhere. Don't need a proprietary part or anything like that. It's a the miter system on it is a steel plate with detents that you just move the saw around with this trigger here, and works pretty smoothly and clicks solidly into the detents without any play. If you pull up the trigger and push this wheel in, you get a real nice fine adjustment that you can dial in exactly what you want, and then you click it off just like that. The reading is to 1/10 of a degree on a digital scale right here, which is real handy. And it just dials it back like that. And then for returning to the regular, you just click it off and go to your regular, and you can lock it in right there. The dual bevel adjustment locks with a paddle back here. Fully down is locked. Up here is the click stop detents, and then pulling it up loosens it so you can swing it over. Swings all the way over in both directions, and all sorts of click stops along the way to find common positions that most folks would use. All the way. Quite a lot of capacity there. And when you get it to your position, just lock it down and you're there. The motor on this has a electric feedback control circuit, which matches the torque of the motor to the load that the saw is experiencing. What that means is that you get a soft start so that it doesn't jump into the wood like some saws, and so it gives you a little bit more control. And then it matches the load depending on if you're cutting something big or something lightweight. When you turn it off, it has an electric brake that stops the blade real quickly, which adds to your productivity. If you're having to do a lot of cuts, it's safer because it stops the blade before you want to move that hand in there to move the piece around or remove the part you cut off. Let's give it a try here. Now for that cut, we just used it straight down like a conventional miter saw, and that worked fine. Now we're going to release the rails so that it slides back and forth to get full capacity. This is a piece of common 1x12 pine stock. and it has no problem handling something that big on a straight cut for capacity. And see, the blade stops pretty quickly and works pretty good. You may have seen a little bit of dust coming out here, but not much at all. Most of it is going into the sack in the back, which is attached here to this rather elaborate dust shroud that's designed to pick up dust in all the positions on the saw. Does a pretty good job. Dust collection on a miter saw is always problematic, but this does a pretty good job. The fitting on the back, because it's an odd square shape, it's not going to match up immediately to a vacuum or a in-shop dust collector system. You'll need some kind of an adapter. Milwaukee tells us that they have an adapter in the works, but it wasn't available for our testing. I would imagine that this dust collection, which is pretty good as it is, would probably work even better with hooked up to an extraction device of some kind. Some other features that you might be looking for on a miter saw, a lot of the ones have extension wings or all that come out, 6 inches or something like that. Milwaukee did not include that on this saw. They said that their research shows that most folks in job sites are putting the saw into a stand or in some kind of a fixture that they already have some kind of work support system set up, so it's really unnecessary and it saves the weight. Instead, they put in these nice rubberized grips that make it easy to heft it. It weighs about 65 pounds, so it's for a saw of this capacity, that's not bad at all for getting it in and out of your truck. The fence adjusts back and forth easily, and I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but there's extra capacity built in here, so if you're cutting big crown molding, you can cut it right up in here in just the chop mode, and you've got real high capacity under the blade there. Pretty nice saw for all the features that it has. It's running about $700 street price, so something that you might want to consider if you are looking to get a new miter saw with versatile features like that. That's it for today in the shop. Thanks for watching.